Reaver is a movement shooter that I found because of the hot guy on the Steam page. And right on that Steam page, it says that it is ultra fast. But it can't be faster than Ultra Kill, right? Holy shit, this game is fast. I believe that with my 6.9 hours in Reaver, I have the ability to talk about all the cool stuff that is in the game. Let's start off with the movement, since this is a movement shooter. The movement in this game is nuts as hell. There is dashing, double jumping, slamming, slam jumping, wall jumping, sliding, flying, even more means of flight, grappling hooks, super sliding, and it all, except the flying, centers around this stamina circle thingy. One thing about sliding is that if you punch while sliding, you do a normal uppercut that launches you and your enemy up in the air. But if you punch the ground while sliding, you activate your stand ability and shoot out a line of punches that also launches your enemy in the air. Alongside the stamina circle, there is also a rage meter that fills up when you get kills. And when you press the funny button, it just... Now, we're gonna talk about the game's choices on how to abide by the Second Amendment. Currently, there are 4 weapons in the game, each with 2 variants, red and blue. Each gun has at least 2 firing modes. First one being, yeah, that's a gun. And the second one being, yeah, I could do that with a gun if I try hard enough. But there are some other ways you can use the gun. For the shotgun, on the other hand, the revolver, if you hold right click and punch at the same time, it becomes new. With the akimbo machine guns, you can throw the one you are holding with your left hand, and it explodes when hitting the enemy. Speaking of enemies, when you launch this cowboy looking head ass, he screams, which you can disable if you're some guy who just hates fun. There is also this boss at the end of the prologue that becomes a regular enemy in the later levels, and it drops a power-up that turns you into a proper roadman. Just like the gun, you can throw the knife and it explodes due to the anxiety it feels when coming into contact with people. In the demo, there are currently 6 levels, 1 endless wave type game mode, and a few difficulties. There are indeed 6 levels as you can see here, and I'm gonna quickly talk about them. Level 1 is a nice peaceful level that takes place in the clouds, and it is basically just a tutorial on all the movement tech in the game. The prologue is basically the gun tutorial instead of the movement tutorial. Level 3, it's a personal favorite. It's a large city with a park and a bunch of other stuff where you gotta go into and quote unquote. Level 4 is a long ass mechanical castle with traps. And no, not those kind, you dirty minded individual. The 5th level is a challenge for people that suck at a game, as well as for a bad computer, since the corridor has an enemy population similar to a small village. And the final level is the demo's credits, as well as a place to show off the creator's fascination with big women. I know nothing about level design, but I'm gonna talk about it anyway. Most of the levels do have rooms that are similar to one another, but there are just many different set pieces that do change it up. The music is one of my favorite things about the game. It's just a banger. You gotta listen to it. Some funny things about the music is that when you pause the game, the music just gets slowed and reverbed. And also, the music makes the environment move around in time with the music, which is fucking sick. I forgot to mention that there are 4 game modifiers that are on the right side of the menu screen. These modifiers involve random enemies, more enemies, faster enemies, and funky mode. Funky mode makes the game funky. And that basically means that you, your guns, the HUD, the enemies, literally everything funks around with the music. It looks like there might be a multiplayer part of the game, which might be a very painful experience by having every player move around at relativistic speeds. While writing this script, I found out that it is a co-op type multiplayer. That sounds boring as hell. After all the positive stuff that I have to say about this game, there is just one crucial thing Reaver does not have. Reaver has no realistic pixel water physics. This game is unplayable.